You're just going where you belong straight away because you annoy me so much that you have your own special tier. You're welcome. Hello cutie beans, welcome back to this tier list and review video. So today I am reviewing and making a tier list of World's End Club. So what did I think of this game? You probably already know if you've watched the Let's Play. And what did I think of the characters? It's gonna be a wild roller coaster of emotions coming from me, so you know, look out for that. So without any further ado, let's begin. So let's jump right into it. What did I think about World's End Club? So pros and cons of this is going to be a review. Spoiler warning to begin with, obviously, because I'm going to talk about the game as a whole. I've completed it, my thoughts, and I guess that there would be spoilers in the story. So keep that in mind if you don't want to be spoiled, and look at the timestamps if you want to skip to anything specific. Thank you very much. So if you've seen my Let's Play, you know I was not a huge fan of this game. I think you could tell how draining it was, and I'm just so happy that I completed it, to be honest. So I'm going to start on what I didn't like, so we can, you know, finish on something positive and the things that I did actually like about the game, because I didn't hate it as much as I think I was letting on. So first, the misleading summary. So this was brought straight from the Nintendo website. So it says, as a summary, the Go-Getters Club, a group of misfit students from all over Japan, find themselves trapped in a strange theme park during a class trip. In order to unveil the mystery of the circumstances and find an escape, they must take part in a game of fate that will test their bonds of friendship. With colourful visuals, charming characters, accessible gameplay, and a compelling story, this is an experience you'll never forget. That's true, I'll never forget this experience, but not for how I think they would like me to not forget it. But if we go through this, okay, Go-Getters Club, yep, cool. Misfit students from all over Japan. Were they? I guess, but you know, they're all in the same class, even though they look like they're like all different ages, but we won't get into that. In order to, they find themselves in a strange theme park at a class trip. Yep, they do that for the first hour of the game. I think this is the bit that annoyed me the most about this game, was that the summary is like, oh, it's a game of fate in this abandoned water park. Sounds like a great game, fantastic game. However, in the end, that is only for an hour. You do the game of fate in the water park, and then you go on to the terrible story of trying to get to Tokyo. Get back to Tokyo, I guess, or whatever. And it's so misleading, because the first part of the gameplay is really good. I love that part. I think you could play it in the demo. And the demo was a great part of the game. It was just nothing like that in the rest of the game, which really kind of annoyed me a lot. Bonds of friendship, I guess, yeah, even though they argued all the time, which was so annoying. I don't know any friends who argue that much and are still friends, to be honest. Colourful visuals, yep, colourful visuals, that was great. Charming characters, I wouldn't say they were charming, they were annoying. Most of them were very annoying and got on my nerves. I'm looking at you, Tatsun. Accessible gameplay, yes, I'd say it is accessible gameplay because it was so easy. Like, visual novels, I love them. Easy reading, I thought the reading was very easy, and the gameplay itself was just a bit of a side scroller. It wasn't a bit of platforming. It wasn't difficult, and that's coming from me, who's a bit of a dummy. So you know, it's got to be good. If you're a dummy too, you could play this game with ease. Compelling story, I've been through that. The story is not compelling. It's a cliche of trying to take down some big boss at the end who's controlling the world. Happens often. Even their individual stories weren't even compelling. I didn't care for most of them. Some of them kind of touched my heart, but others I really didn't care. And I feel bad, but yeah, I didn't really care about them. Unlikable characters. I've been through this. You'll see my tier list at the end of this video. I hated the majority of these characters. They annoyed me so much, just with the way they talk, the way they whined. Their personalities were cliche. I just wasn't interested in them. Like, yes, you've got the annoying older emo brother, like, oh, I killed my sister, it was all my fault, I don't care about anyone, I don't even want to be your friend. Like, okay, grow up, man. Funny that his name was 𝒻𝑜𝓁𝓁𝑒, which is the Japanese for big brother, which, again, bit cliche, but cute. I guess it's cute. He's one of my characters who I didn't hate. Looking at you, Tatsun. Some characters don't stand out. A lot of them don't stand out. They, you know, I didn't really care for. I don't really remember 𝒻𝑜𝓁 that much, other than her story of her sister. And then she was whining all the time about her sister. We understand your sister died. We get it. It's very sad. And then you go blame Neon for no reason. Like, okay, it's a bit childish. A lot of them were kind of either childish or the whiny. Like, you've got Tatsun, who whines about the Electro Rangers all the time, and then you have 𝒻𝑜𝓁, who's just complaining about food. Even though I kind of had a soft spot for 𝒻𝑜𝓁 because he's kind of squishy and adorable, so I did like him. But again, so whiny and boring stories. I come back to 𝒻𝑜𝓁, like, his story, he didn't have much except for this infatuation with Neuro, which was really cringe, like, not in a fun way. And yeah, the characters were just very, very unlikable. The drawn out plot. See, I talked about this in my misleading summary. The plot just made no sense. So you had the fun bit in the underwater theme park, but then you have this boring story of them just going to Tokyo, across Japan, which, yes, it was interesting, and I really like the facts about Japan and the different prefectures and things like that. However, that wasn't enough to make me interested in the story. It was like they were just going across Japan so you can get these interesting facts about different areas of Japan. And I mean, yay. Yeah, it just wasn't enough to make a compelling story of a game. And that kind of sidesteps like the cult of Mike and things. You get one section about Mike, about the cult of Mike, and then it's like, okay, we're gone now, we're just going somewhere else. And then the end with Mike, and Mike's voice is so annoying. I don't know how they made an AI voice just so monotonous and boring when they're taking over the world. Like, parts of the plot were just ignored because you were just annoyed either by characters or by how long and drawn out the whole thing was. So I wasn't really interested that much in the plot. So this is a bugbear, maybe it was only me, but I feel it controlled really badly on the Switch. You would walk up to a box and, okay, you've got to push this box to a certain area. Cool. You'd walk up to the box and then you climb on it. Okay, I'll get down, walk up to the box again and climb on it. I wasn't even close to it and I need to press Y to push it, but it just controlled really badly. You try to jump on something and you do it one way, you'd jump far. You do it another way, you'd fall into a hole. Great, like, it controlled really badly for me. It was just really annoying. Something that annoyed me probably the most is that the jokes didn't land and they were just really awkward. You had 𝒻𝓁 again joking about him being in love with like Neuro and things. You had Tatsun with this stupid Electro Ranger crap, and just sometimes they would laugh about something and you're like, am I supposed to be laughing with you? It's kind of sad. But I honestly think this is because this game was set for a very younger audience. I'm 29 years old. I don't think I was the audience for this. It's a very, very young audience, even though some of the themes were quite dark. I would say it was probably for like a teenage audience. So I don't think I really fit. Maybe I don't understand teenage humor, which, you know, is quite likely. I'm a very old person at heart. Like, I'm 80 years old at heart. So I don't think I understood the jokes. Maybe if you're younger, please let me know. Did you find what they were saying funny? And when they made jokes, did you realize they were joking? Or were you like, this is just awkward text? Please do let me know in the comments, because I think I'm just an old person and just didn't find any of this funny. So it wasn't all terrible. There were parts that I did like as a game, and I think I enjoy visual novels, and as a visual novel it was a really good game. Just the bits that kind of were bad just kind of overthrew some of the good parts to me. Something I really loved was the art style. The art style was, as I said, it was colourful, it was vibrant, it was it was interesting, and I think what I really did like about the art style and the game direction really is that you had dynamic shots. You had shots that weren't just looking at a character or just close-ups of a character. When they were walking, you felt like you were walking there with them, and I liked that. I liked following that as a story. There were also wide shots that were really nicely done, where you as the main character weren't just in the center, you felt like you were part of the group. So the art style and the direction of the game were actually, I really enjoyed those. So music and atmosphere, great music, fantastic music. It really helped with the story going along. Even with the long bits of text, you still had some background noise which were good. You felt like you were in these areas that they were portraying. I really enjoyed that, even though that my videos did get copy claimed by 𝒁𝓁𝓁𝓁, but you know, we're cool. You did make them, even though it's fair use that me playing this game, but you know, fine, I won't appeal all of them, only some of them. But great game with great music at the end. So my favourite part was probably the collectibles. Who doesn't like some good collectibles? Like, I love stickers, I do. Like, you hear that little jingly noise and you just want to go find that sticker somewhere. I liked it. A lot of them I forgot when I was playing the Let's Play, but I played it later on and got all the stickers, including the rare stickers. And those were actually quite funny. So those were funny. The characters' jokes aren't funny, but the stickers description, those were quite funny, so I enjoyed those. And I would love to see more collectibles, not just stickers. That would be fine, like find the hidden item type thing. It would make the gameplay a lot more interesting. So yeah, that was my review of World's End Club. Next we'll move on to the tier list. How did I really think about those boring characters? Welcome to my tier list. So we have a good 5 tiers of how I feel about these characters. So at the bottom, I mean, it's a bit of a spoiler how I feel, but 𝒁𝓁𝓁, because and then if you have watched my Let's Play, you'll know how I feel about 𝒁𝓁𝓁. And I mean, do you know what? I was going to explain all of the tiers, but he just has to go in right now. Like, 𝒁𝓁𝓁, you're just going where you belong straight away, because you annoy me so much that you have your own special tier. You're welcome. Anyway, going back for the tiers, we have the next tier up from 𝒁𝓁𝓁 is annoying. There were some characters who were just annoying. There were no substance, they were just annoying. They yelled too much, they had no personality, they were just all about being annoying. And again, I think it's my age, but I just couldn't handle these children. I just couldn't deal with it. Okay, I guess these are for the middling people. Some, I think when I started playing, I really didn't like them, but as the story grew, I kind of did like them in the end. The second to top, we've got, you know, you're all right. Not as annoying as some. I kind of didn't really feel much for you, but you weren't terrible. So you go in there, you know, you're all right. And top class, these were my favourite. These were the ones who didn't annoy me. They actually brought something interesting to the story. Their personalities were good. So yeah, I kind of like them. So if we begin, first we have 𝒁𝓁𝓁𝑒. He is the, I want to say they is the kind of protagonist of this story, the unofficial leader of the Go-Getters Club. What I don't like is that when one of the main characters, they just don't speak, but everyone knew what he was saying, even though he couldn't speak. And it was confirmed that he couldn't speak, spoiler alert, because when they found out he was a robot and they just couldn't develop him in time for speech. Like, okay. I found him quite interesting though, so I'm putting him in. You know, you're alright. You're alright, 𝒁𝓁𝓁𝑒. You're fine. I enjoyed your non-speakingness. Maybe it's because you didn't speak is why I kind of liked you. When these characters speak, they were annoying. So yeah, you go in, you know, you're all right. Next we have 𝒁𝓁. 𝒁𝓁 first. I mean, you know, if you've watched my Let's Play, you go straight to the top. I liked 𝒁𝓁. 𝒁𝓁 was my favourite for such a long time. And I'm so sad that we didn't see much of her, but I liked how she was vital to the story, and I really liked her. I liked her character design. I liked her voice. She got kind of annoying sometimes when she had like the squeaky moments and like the super duper stuff, but you know, Vanilla, I liked you. You were good. You're top of the class, Vanilla. Next, Kansai. I had such mixed feelings about Kansai. He was just really annoying and going on about Neon all the time. Like, you're just so annoying. Why are you just so annoying? And arguing with 𝒫𝓁𝑒 all the time, when I love 𝒫𝓁𝑒, you know, she's one of my favourites, but just arguing all the time and then being really mean. I didn't particularly like Kansai, so he goes in annoying. Next we have his better half, 𝒫𝓁𝑒. I love how at the end their love story blossoms. I think it's really sweet. And they're both like kind of short, and I love 𝒫𝓁𝑒. If any of these characters makes me think of me, it would be 𝒫𝓁𝑒, short and fiery. That's kind of my wheelhouse right here. Yeah, I really liked it. She just misses out on top of the class because, again, there's all that arguing with Kansai and all the shouting, like, little kid, calm down, please. You wind me up a little bit. So, but, you know, she's all right. I like little 𝒫𝓁𝑒. 𝒻𝑜𝓁. I'm not sure about 𝒻𝑜𝓁. She, again, is one of these characters that didn't stand out so much, and it was a bit difficult because she's like, oh, I'm a scientist and my family are scientists and my dad's a scientist. I'm like, okay, we get it. You're a scientist. You've got a science brain. You can't believe in like ghosts and crap like that. Great. But then there's no other substance really. And I also found it a bit creepy that she was so into 𝒞𝓂𝓁, even though when she knew he was a robot. I get it, she's got a science brain, so yes, the only thing I can love is a robot because it makes logical sense. But I wasn't into that. But so she goes into okay, I guess. Next we have 𝒞𝓂𝓁. 𝒞𝓂𝓁, where do you go? I wasn't that bothered about you in the beginning in the underwater theme park, but I kind of grew to like him, especially when you find out his story and that he is a robot. I kind of like it, and I found it really interesting. I thought he was a bit, you know, emo at first, but you know, I really liked him, and I liked his story, and I liked his powers, and I thought he was kind of cool. So he is going top of the class with Vanilla. Next, 𝒻𝑜𝓁. Oh, little 𝒻𝑜𝓁. I say little chunky 𝒻𝑜𝓁. I liked him. I liked his energy. I liked what he was about. What I didn't like is how whiny he was and how creepy he was to 𝒻𝑜𝓁. And then that bit near the end when they were getting the keys, the bit where he likes to be poked and he'd getting people to poke him, and I found that kind of creepy. I hope I wasn't the only one who found that creepy. And so he turned a bit weird and a bit, I don't know, so he can't go too high up on my list, but he isn't annoying. I didn't find him as annoying as some of the other characters in this game, so he does go in okay, I guess. 𝒁𝓏𝑒, again, another one where I really liked him at the beginning. I was like, he's the one that makes sense. He's playing this game properly. He's just going to kill all his friends. That's kind of what I'm into. I want someone to like take the lead and, you know, this is a game, we must survive. Let's just go. Let's sabotage everyone. Let's pretend someone's our friend and then we're just going to go and try and kill them and get their wristbands. I really like that. Annoying when you find out that it's just brainwashing and he doesn't really think that. But then throughout the rest of the game, he's just complainy, and like I said in my review, he's got that part where it's like, oh, I killed my sister. Oh no, I'm so sad and moany because I killed my sister. And that got old fast, like really drawn out, and I just really wasn't into that in the end. So he goes in okay, I guess. 𝒑𝓚. Again, this is the opposite. I didn't like 𝒑𝓚 at the beginning because, one, she spoke really slow and I was like, just say what? Just say it. And then I accidentally skipped a lot of the text because it was just, I would read it, but she was just so slow to say it that her voice would get cut off. I know that's annoying. That's me being annoying. but I grew to like her. I got used to her slow voice, and I thought she was kind of sweet in the end, simple and sweet. And I liked how she was like, 𝒏𝓊𝓒 is like the best place ever, and I'm from 𝒏𝓊𝓒, and that's the best place. She's just pure. And we love a good pure character. And the fact that she loved 𝒁𝓁𝑒𝓃, even though he's a bit of a bitch, but she still loved him and was like, I'm going to do anything to be with you, 𝒁𝓁𝑒𝓃. And sweet. I like Pi. So Pi, I thought she would be lower, but she does go into, you know, you're all right. Oh, you know, you're all right. So next, 𝒻𝑜𝓁. Struggling, because who is she? Like, you don't really notice a lot of her. You don't really remember her. There's not much to her. And then when you do find something to her, she's annoying. Like, okay, we understand your sister died in the horrible earthquakes as she was going to meet Nian, who she loved, and they had like love. It's not all about you, 𝒻𝑜𝓁. It's not all about you, 𝒻𝑜𝓁. She goes on about the stupid theatre thing as well, and she is nothingness, but also annoying. How can you be nothing and annoying? Ask 𝒻𝑜𝓁. So she goes in annoying. Next, I'm gonna go to Yuki. So Yuki, you are cute. I wish you had more story and it wasn't just the beginning and the end. I wish there was more to you. I love how you're called Yuki, and because you fell from the sky when it was snowing. You're cute. I'm struggling whether to put you in top of the class because I liked you, but there wasn't much there. So I think I'm going to put you in, I'm going to put you in, you know, you're all right, because top of the class is for the ones that I really, really liked. So you're going in, you know, you're all right. I liked you, but, you know. 𝒵𝓗𝓗𝓃. I love 𝒵𝓗𝓗𝓃. I really, really liked 𝒵𝓗𝓃. She wasn't the antagonist we thought she was gonna be. She was a part of Mike, probably the more interesting part of Mike. I know 𝒏𝓁𝑒 was a part of Mike too, but Yuki was a part of Mike too, which is, you know, interesting. But I liked 𝒵𝓗𝓃, and I liked what she was about. I liked her, how she talked. She was really cool. She's not top of the class, but you know, she's all right. We like her. Right, we're going on to, let's go to Nian. We didn't hear much from Nian, but we heard a lot from Kansai, and I liked him. I did like Nian. I liked his story. It was kind of one of the only bits of the story I actually did like, was the bit where you find Nian in the underground temple, and he was interesting. I liked how he broke away from the brainwashing. It's like that doesn't sound like the right word. Brainwashing. He broke brainwashing, and I liked how he still had some of his emotions. So the whole Mike plan wasn't always going to work. It wasn't perfect. I really liked him. So, but I don't think I liked him as much as the, you know, you're all right. So I'm going to put him as okay, I guess, because we didn't learn much about him. We didn't know a lot about him, and I think he was kind of mistreated a little by 𝒻𝑜𝓁. So I'm just going to put him in okay, I guess. Let's go as a spicy one. 𝒻𝑜's father, the one who created Mike. Like, there is like literally nothing I can really say about it. I got this tier maker from the 𝒻𝑜𝓁𝓁.com, so see the link below. I'm just going to put him in okay, I guess, because we know nothing about him. The long-haired creep. I like the long hair creep. He was cool. But again, not much from him. I wish there was a little bit more. I liked the part where he was in the factory and they were somewhere else and they were video linking, pretending they were a robot, and he was just so stupid. I love how stupid he was. He was good. So he is going in. You know, you're all right. Now, Mike. I don't know really what to say about Mike. Except, why is your voice so annoying? I know you're like an AI, but why does it have to be so robotic? You're supposed to be intelligent. You're artificial intelligence. You should be better than you are. I liked Mike being the end boss and like the core personality. I liked that last boss. other than that, you were just kind of annoying, Mike. I didn't really care about your story, and you are the story. I should care about the main story and the character who's included in the main story, but I don't, and I kind of forget about you, and all the other characters are kind of more interesting than you, so you go in annoying. So that is my tier list. I think it's quite, you know, quite appropriate. Let me know if you would make any changes. Did you like some characters more than others? Did you hate some characters more than I hated Tatsun? I don't think it's possible. Hate you, Tatsun. Yeah, so check out this tier maker down below. And this was my review and tier maker of World's End Club. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below what you thought of World's End Club. Thank you for watching. Bye.